Countryside. It's Joe Smith, your general manager, and Mike McDonald, and here we are with another project update.
Yes, sir.
Mike, every time we put a video out, I say, there's no way we can top the next one. There's no way there can be more exciting things going on.
There will be in a couple of weeks, John.
Well, I think there is today.
Well, today's looking good.
So,
Yeah.
it's Friday the 13th,
Yep.
September. And we've got walls on one side of the building. We've got roof trusses showing up today for this side of the building.
Yes.
It's pretty exciting.
That'll be the big update. When those roofs are on, it'll look like a building.
Yeah.
So,
So what's going on? Where are we at?
So the masons really humped it the last half week or so.
Yep.
The entire south end is erected, all the masonry. They're forming up for the tie beams right now.
Yep.
There's also some poured-in-place supports. There's 2 columns out there that are poured concrete, one at the loading dock, one at the pool cafe, just for strength. So those are formed. I expect they'll pour them at the same time as the tie beam. So they got one side of the form up on the tie beam, the rebar's going in, getting ready for that pour, maybe by the first of next week.
Yeah.
And that'll get us ready, make us ready for roofing on that end. But again, it was great to see the masons come in, blitz it out. The bar is done in masonry, all the exterior walls, and the interior support wall.
Hold on, you skipped over the most important thing there for Countryside.
Yes.
The bar is taking shape.
Yes. Yeah.
So you'll see that from the aerials.
Yep.
The bar, I mean, that's the pool bar.
Because that's outside, we're going to put the tile on masonry.
Yeah.
Versus on the inside, we'll put the tile on backer board and studs. So yeah, they actually erected the 3.5 foot high masonry enclosure, so the bar really looks like a bar.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Instead of a bunch of pipes and concrete.
That's awesome.
So we should see that pour, I'd say, by Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
And ready for those trusses, which have now been bumped to the 23rd.
Right.
Because they're coming in, there's a lot of lumber, big size trusses, a crane. They were going to split the days and they put them back together. Now they split them again. So they'll erect on the north end, I would expect Monday the 16th.
Yep.
They're prepping now. They have top plates ready to go in. They're setting fascia boards in place, all cut to length. So as soon as those trusses go in, they'll brace them and face them off.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the big day that's really going to blow your socks off.
That's huge. So the next video that we put out 2 weeks from today, give or take, we could very well be standing in the Lakeview Lounge under cover.
Yeah.
And talking about roof trusses going in on the other end.
Yeah, we'll be in shade and we should be dry because all the peel and stick membrane has been delivered, all the roof plywood's here, all the lumber.
Yeah.
So as soon as those trusses are in and braced, they'll cover them and they're waterproof. So
that's
looking really good on this end.
Yeah.
That's about all that's happened here. They did pour a curb for the bar here, which you'll be able to show. Just something to anchor the studs to. Again, keep it up out of any wet conditions. So all the cabinetry and stuff can sit on an elevated end. Quiet in the middle here. We're in the atrium. They did get all that steel installed. On this end for site work, they're just closing up the trenches now. They've got new drains in the butterfly garden recess, all a crossing between the #1 back tee and through where the car path used to be, and all the boxes are installed along where the putting green is. So that's all in and connected, as well as all the downspouts for this side of the building. You'll see black pipe risers. Those are where the downspouts will go in. So all the water for this whole half of the building will be collected in those pipes and run out to that network of piping that's level. It'll either go into the butterfly garden swale or out to the lake. But that's all set level, so as the water fills in heavy rains, it'll have 2 places to run.
We actually, before you get off that area, we actually walked with our landscape crew this morning. And we're going to install the landscape that's required in the carp staging area in around that tee box as soon as that's complete.
Good.
And again, we're targeting to have all that done, put back, reassembled with the concrete
Sure.
around October 1st, the first week of October.
Okay.
So and when we get into season, we actually identified that as phase one
Sure.
of our site plan. So
Yep.
we should have that area looking pretty much put together. Which
Yeah,
is,
they're all rough graded. They just need to finish
Yeah,
grade.
yeah.
And I don't think they'll do the pavers just yet, but they'd be ready for them.
Right.
But yeah, things are still a little messy out there. But again, the big trenches are getting filled back in. The rock, we're all done taking out rock, waiting on a sum of those charges.
Right,
And we
right.
expect a small change order,
Right.
10 to 20,000 for
Right.
rock removal. And I don't know if they took all the rock. I think some of it's still laying around.
Yeah, there's still some here on the
Yeah.
site. There's a little bit down on this end. But
Maybe we use it in the landscape.
most of it they've hauled away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's looking good on the north and
Yep.
west end. So in the middle of the dining room and the kitchen area, the plumbers are now piping water lines on the walls where we have them. The light gauge framers are becoming soon to start building the other walls that are not masonry.
Yep.
And we can rough those in for water and electric. HVAC is pretty well done inside. They're all capped and ready to extend to the addition as soon as that roof's on, which should be September 24, 25, in that range. And then the building will be dried in on the top, and that'll free up for the door and window company to start coming in. And,
Also, this week we had that large lumber delivery
Yep.
arrive. I think it was Tuesday this week or something.
yep.
Is that framing material, or is it for the roof to dry in the roof once the trusses get here? I mean, there was a big truckload of
Yeah,
lumber.
there's
It's all staged
small
up.
areas of roof that need stick framing.
Yeah.
The trusses are used to the extent they can be, but there'll still be small areas, roof crickets, different pitches of the roof
Right.
that are not conducive to a multiple truss arrangement.
Yeah.
So some of that framing is to just piece in all the parts. There's some bracing in there as well. All the trusses get braced by 2x so that they don't domino on each other in a big wind. So that's all code required bracing.
Yeah.
So a lot of lumber here. We haven't seen fresh lumber in a long time.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Now it's stacking up for sure. We have pressure treated for the top, the ledgers where the trusses fasten.
Yeah.
When we see the tops of the walls, you can see the hurricane hold down straps. Those will get bent down over the trusses and nailed off. That keeps the roof from lifting off
Gotcha.
in a storm. So those were cast in when they grouted the concrete block and poured the tie beam.
Yeah.
Those straps were cast in for the concrete.
Awesome.
So you'll see them. They're every 16 inches or so.
Yeah, I was wondering what those were.
Yeah, that's what holds your roof from getting
an
taken off Wizard
It's
of
an
Oz.
important
style.
thing not to miss.
Yep. So there's a continuity of that structure we've talked before. We had rebar in the foundation.
Right.
We had rebar running through the block work.
Yeah.
Those cells were grouted solid, and then rebar and straps coming out
Gotcha.
into the tie beam. So it's a continuous connection from the foundation to the roof.
Gotcha.
And that's what holds the building from doing a Dorothy,
Blown away, yeah.
Dorothy and taking off. So
Excellent.
that's where we are. The site work at the other end hasn't really moved, even though once the masons are clear and the tie beams are poured, they can start rough grading and getting some of that debris out of there, leveling that. We still have a lot of excess fill, cut and fill out there. But looking good.
The site work in the parking lot to the south of Wellness.
Yep.
Monday the 16th, they're going to do a disconnect on our temporary power to the administration trailer, which we're closed anyways, so not a big concern. But they have to reroute that temporary conduit so they could do the drainage work into that big storm box that's existing. So I expect them to start a lot of that work later next week.
They already cut the pavement over there.
They did cut the pavement, yeah.
Because the new parking lot goes from 24 spaces to 48 spaces with a large drain in the center, and the whole lot kind of acts like a dish. That new structure will pipe over to the existing catch basin, which is right in front of the Wellness front door sidewalk. And so that's been cleared and cut, ready to go. So another big trench. They took the fence down over there to make room for that work.
But I think that's all going to start next week,
Yep.
towards the end of next week.
No, all the machinery, they'll be ready to clear the area here and just scrape it flat and smooth and move to the other end. So
Excellent.
looking good there. That's about it, I think. Again, good
That's
to
a
see.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of exciting things.
A lot of third dimension work now instead of this stuff under the slab.
I'll tell you, walking through these areas, and especially on this side of the building in the new kitchen area, it just feels massive.
It is.
I mean, I hesitate saying cavernous, but it's just, I mean, when the walls go up, it really puts everything into perspective.
Yep. I think we added about a third more area than the old building had.
Yeah.
Of course, we took some away, but in the end, we're going to net a much larger club. You can tell now when you're in the Lakeview Lounge how much more seating there's going to be. You can just tell by where the walls are. The room is much more expansive.
Awesome. And windows, there's a lot of windows, a lot of light coming in. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
Yep. So look forward to the next session. We'll be in the shade.
Yes.
It'll be nice and dry. There's no more water coming into the building.
Yeah.
We had a little trouble with some water running in when we had so much rain off the new slabs. It was rolling in. So they put up some dams, and we still had that leak from the chimney. That's all patched up now. So the building's nice and dry, which is good.
It was a 37-year leak that they finally isolated and found, and they took care of. So.
A lot of tile has been taken off. Your aerial photos show that well.
Yeah.
Maybe half the old roof is gone, but that's what they carried in the price to flash in all new areas. Wherever there's a flat plane of a roof, that's all new tile. So we're not sort of patching in here and there. And so the color should be good too. So we have a large, expansive roof plane. It'll all be new tile or old tile, but not a mixture of them all. So, But otherwise good. Haven't lost any time for weather. We've had a few big storms, but they've all come late of the day.
Yeah.
So the guys have been pretty well wrapped.
We've been lucky. A lot of Saturday work.
Yeah, the Masons have worked Saturdays. I think once they get going to the production, they just want to blow it out. They have big crew, maybe 15, 20 people here. So they worked. They did the same on the other end, just to, I think, get themselves done and moved on.
Yeah.
So good pace.
Yeah, the activity's been great last couple of weeks. And in fact, Charlie, the reason they split up those truss orders is not to, he told me, he said, I don't want to jam up the site. There's so much going on right now.
Right.
And the trusses on that end are going to sit anyways. Until it's ready. So, no sense in.
Yeah, and some of those trusses are 60 feet long. They're 16 feet high, 12 feet high. So they take up a lot of real estate. And you don't really want them laying around either. If somebody drives a piece of equipment over a truss, that's an expensive mistake in time more than anything. So
excellent.
Looking good.
That covers it, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Another good update. Mike, as always, thanks for the time. Thanks for the expertise and, to you and the whole committee. You guys are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. So. Countryside, as always, any questions, send them our way. We're pretty confident you're going to enjoy what you see in this update, especially with the aerials. A lot of good stuff. So,
You bet.
Mike, thanks again. Countryside, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you.